Hello and welcome to Extra Connections. I'm James Lott Jr., the JLJ of JLJ Media. Say that 5 times fast. And I'm here. So I bring you people who are doing interesting things in this company. So here's the short story, kids. Make sure I get the right one to show you guys. I'm with my sister in a store called Sprouts. Now, some of you guys, you don't have Sprouts. Sprouts is like a healthier grocery store. They actually have healthier products. So it's like Trader Joe's kinda, but it's a little more upscale. So we go there, I go there for certain things, and I see this display and so folks who are listening to this, you can't see I'm showing one of the bags for the upcycled white nectarines. But my sister goes, it says ugly. I'm like, hello, I'm ugly. That's what it says in the bag. I'm like, so the branding got our attention. So it worked, Matt. We're gonna talk, he's a chief right now. We're gonna get to him in a second. But it worked. And they had several things. I said, I'm gonna grab this dry nectarine one and just take it home with me. So I take it home and I decided, now, as you guys know, if you follow me on other social media, I do tasting videos. And I put one up on YouTube of me tasting the dried nectarines. Okay, so that's what I did. Just a little reenactment a little bit. So I put it in my hands and it's like, little checks. I'm like, it smells good. It smells like nectarines. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh my God, it's good. Like it tastes like nectarines. Because I know what upcycled is. We'll explain what that is, but I never heard it in fruit. So then, about a week later, I get an email from the ugly company, and they say the president and CEO Ben saw my video and loved it and wanted to send me some stuff. So he sent me the cherries, is my favorite, and the peaches. Anyway, I have the chief brand officer of the other company, Matt Gorella, with me. We're going to find out more about this company and what's going on. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, James. And yeah, we got a kick out of your video. We loved it. All gave us a good laugh. So we're like, we gotta reach out and say hello. And
So how did you guys find? I mean, we guys just on you. Do you guys like hashtag your like? What do you do? How did you find it?
we have a team that helped us with some PR recently, where they've done some press releases for us on our new funding round, as well as our new packaging and our new plant. And so they were kind of finger on the pulse of anything kind of ugly company popping up, and they forwarded along your video, say, hey, this is a fun review that happened on YouTube. Check it out. And so that's how we got it.
That was very cool. So hi to Ben. I mean, he couldn't make it. Hi to Ben. Hopefully one day I get to meet him. Because you guys are literally about 3 hours north of me in Central Valley. So I
Yeah.
love that. You're not far from me. Right now, I know I can't talk right now because I'm sure you have it worse. I've been in Fresno in the summer, but right now it's 90 degrees in LA, and I live by the water, and I'm burning up. But I can't talk because I know Fresno gets a lot hotter.
I know. I was trying to look real quick on my computer what actually the
No,
temperature is today. Yesterday it was 102.
oh,
Uh, I'm sure we're talking triple digits again today, but
oh,
honestly, I love it. I mean, it's dry
you?
heat, and you know what you're getting. I mean, it's hard to beat the weather in Southern California. I definitely won't try to compete, right? But as somebody who's grown up here, lived here most of my life, I love just waking up knowing what you're getting. We're gonna have 5 months of sun. It's gonna be a little hot, but it's nice in the mornings. And if you can just have a lot of water and make sure you're in some shade, the heat's not that bad. So that's my point of view on it, at least.
It's not good. Well, see, I live near the water, so I'm gonna be running to the beach really quick. Just dip in the water, you're in cooler.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's like hot. But no, the pack. So I want to talk to you first because the packaging did get my attention. So as a brand officer and stuff, that is, I mean, I just want to tell you guys congratulations because it did get our attention. We're like, what is this? I'm ugly.
Thanks.
I'm ugly. What's that? So can you tell us? Because you always work. Because I know you're working on new packaging, working on things. But where the ugly company and hello, I'm ugly. Where did that come from?
Yeah, so it was something that our founder worked on. Actually, this company started while he was still in business school, while he was at Notre Dame doing his MBA. And he worked with some students there and said, hey, I'm starting this company. I'm looking for some ideas. And they gave him a bunch of, he told him the concept, right? Hey, I want to take this ugly fruit that's being thrown away right now, and I want to turn it into something different. and I need to think of a name, right? And so they threw all these different ideas at him, and he's like, his first idea was, well, why don't we just call it ugly, right? That's what it is. We call it ugly fruit. Like, let's just call it ugly. And like, no, no, you can't. Like, the people will have a wrong impression on it, you know? And he's like, so they did all this study and they threw all these different names out there. He's like, no, I'm sticking with ugly. It's like, I like it. It's a unique name. It's going to catch people's attention. And it's, you know, it's different because, you know, people aren't used to somebody calling themselves ugly and being proud of it, right? It's and when you see it in that context of like ugly, why would somebody call themselves ugly when they're trying to sell a product? That's that capturing of attention that we're hoping to get. Then if somebody picks up our bag, learns a little bit more about our story, that's a huge win for us because we do think that we have a strong story and a great mission that anybody could be a part of.
Yeah, no, it's reclaiming of the word, right? So it's reclaiming of the word, but it also has meaning because, okay, explain. I always heard of upcycling in terms of furniture, um, automotive, bikes, doors, materials. I've never heard of it in fruit or vegetables.
Yeah.
So explain that, please.
Yeah, will do. And it gets confused with recycling a lot too, which we're
Right,
always
right.
trying to educate on because we're like, hey, we're not taking a product that's already been used
No, no,
and
no, no,
now
no,
trying
no, 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 not at all. No, no, no. Yes,
that would be weird, right?
yes.
So upcycling is when they're early on in supply chain, there's a byproduct, right? Something that is being thrown away and not used along the supply chain of another product, right? So in this case, well, let's use peaches as an example, right? These companies, these packing houses are producing fresh fruit to go to stores to be in their fresh fruit section, right? And they're sorting out the ugly fruit, therefore it's just being thrown away and not used, right? Well, upcycling is when we step into that process and take something that was previously being thrown out, take it up high up in the supply chain, and then find another use for it, find another value for it, right? So we take that ugly fruit that would have been thrown away just because of the way it looks. We pit it, we dry it, we slice it, and we put it in our bags. So for a new purpose, a new life.
I'm glad you said that because I was sort of like, it's like, no, it wasn't half-eaten fruit in the trash. And it was like that all. Because I used to work in farm and ag. So yeah, there are products that aren't well enough to be sold. They're not well to go to the
Right.
store. Well, it's like kind of, and also people all the time with, very, very ripe bananas. They use them for bread, or very ripe
Right.
or for smoothies. Like there's some upcycling going on out there already. We just didn't call it that, and it is ugly looking.
Yeah, yeah, and that's one of the things that we really try to educate on too. Is that if you would see this fruit, we've done some of these segments on different media channels, and we're working on getting some more of it on our website. But if you see some of this fruit, you're like, I couldn't even tell you what's wrong with this thing. It's like that little nick somewhere you didn't see it, or just a little soft on the shoulder. But if you take it and process it like we do immediately, it's some of the best fruit you can get. And so it's interesting because I think that does cross people's minds like, oh, they've taken like the rotting fruit or really nasty type fruit and saving it. It's like, no, it's genuinely a huge issue because it's so much great and edible fruit that's just being thrown away for really no reason.
Yes, and people don't understand. There's a lot of product is thrown out that's just wasted or fed to animals, or depending on what it is that we just don't get. They're like, well, we can eat it. That's fine. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I'm eating these cherries, and you wouldn't know anything. It's just
Yeah.
like dried fruit, which I do. So I grew up with dried fruit. So I love dried apricots, that kind of like grew up with dried apples, all that kind of stuff. You really don't taste difference. There's no difference.
Yeah.
Actually, like up front, you kind of know what you're getting.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's something we're proud of with our product as well, is that we don't add anything to it. It's literally just a fruit. Like you're just eating a cherry right now, right? There's no additives, no preservatives. It's single ingredient. The fruit is, I mean, everybody, for the most part, a lot of people have tried fresh fruit, right? Or had some fresh fruit. And you know how delicious it is on its own. So why would you add something to it, right? And we actually asked ourselves that question too. Like, why do people add stuff to it? And a lot of times it's just to hold the color. Like for instance, on peaches, it'll get darker and darker and darker over time. But I mean, that's for us, it's not a reason to put all these different things within the product. Just let the fruit be the fruit.
He is correct because zero fat, zero cholesterol, zero sodium, low carbs, 2 grams of fiber. Some of them have high sugar because they are the natural sugars, because
Yeah.
but there is no added sugars, kids. I'm looking at every single one of these. No added. It's just wherever the sugar is of that particular, and we're talking around 16, 17 grams of whatever this fruit is. So they really aren't adding anything to it. And if you know anything about nutrition, that's kind of what it is. And and I want to ask you, so has it been hard? You go, well, like I said, you're in Sprouts, that's pretty good. But has it been hard to convince people because of the name to get to have a particular product?
It's been interesting because really for the most part, when we've kind of set our mind on a certain account, we haven't had, and I got to knock on wood on this, don't want to jinx us, but we haven't had,
knock on wood, knock on wood, we're knocking on wood.
We really haven't had that too hard of a time with retailers because they're looking for products like ours, right? That are clean, that are better for you, and that are sustainably minded, right? And when we talk to them about this concept and we have unique types of fruit, right? There really hasn't been an aftermarket for nectarines, right? And there's no nectarine juice out there. Very few people have tried dried nectarines. There's really no reason for it not to have an aftermarket. It's delicious as a dried fruit, right? So we have unique products. Like I said, we're oops, sorry, I got to fly in here.
I got to fly in there. It's like you're not flying. Really on a farm. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah. We are in Farmersville, California. So when we talk about, and we always tie it into like, hey, you've probably set some aggressive sustainability goals. Like, here's how we can be a part of helping you accomplish those goals, right? And so for the most part, it's been pretty easy to convince retailers to give us a chance. The harder part is, how do we get this out to the masses, right? How do we teach people about our brand, educate them on our story, and let them know what we're all about? That's much harder to do, right? That's thousands and millions of people versus retailers is a select amount of them that we're kind of going through and pitching as we go.
Yeah, no, it's good. No, I mean, it's such, oh my God, the world, we're such a wasteful world as it is. Well, I should say, especially in America, we just throw everything out, This is such a great idea in terms of feeding people. Also, just kind of a great idea of going, okay, what can we do with something that normally just would be tossed aside?
Yeah, it's crazy. 30 to 40% of our food supply in America is thrown out every year. Just think about the resources that went into making that food, the amount of people that are in hunger that could have used that food. I mean, there's endless reasons. So like, why are we doing this, right? There's really no need to do that. We can find uses for these things. And we're on track this year to prevent 3 million pounds of food waste from happening. So it's a huge number, right? And so we're excited about being able to contribute to it, but we know we're a small piece of it, right? But we're hoping brands like ours, the more that we emerge, the more inspires others, and together we can help solve this problem.
Are there any other upcycled places out there, fruit, vegetable places out there? Yeah.
There's a lot of brands within our upcycled. We have the upcycled certification on our bag. You can't see it on the current bag, but we've added it to our new packaging that we talked a little bit about before. But yeah, there's an Upcycled Food Association. There's a host of brands within there. I'm not sure. I know there's a couple of competitors of ours that do similar style concepts, but I don't know if they're upcycled certified like we are. But there is a whole host of products, very interesting, spanning anywhere from grain to milk to we've seen all kinds of stuff. I'm blanking on some of the other companies.
I get it. Yeah.
Upcycled Food Association, if people are curious, check it out. There's a lot of great companies on there.
I'd like to go check it out. No, that's very cool. And it's cool. I always say certifications are good because it means your commitment to actually being good at this. It shows that you're committed to it, that you actually want to make sure it's all correct.
Absolutely.
Great. So let's learn a little bit about you. How did you get to the company? How did the company come into your orbit?
Yeah, so the founder, Ben Moore, who we were talking about a little bit earlier, he's been a friend of mine for about 10 years now. So he grew up I grew up in Fowler, California. He was in Kingsburg, California. We have a mutual friend that connected us years ago, and we just kind of stayed in touch. And he let me know when he was starting the company. I was like, oh, it's a really great idea. And it was just, him at that time and just a couple people. And he's like, hey, it's nothing really yet. We're just trying to get it going. And So I said, hey, keep me in mind. I love the concept. And, it's right here in the Central Valley, which we're both really passionate about, where we both grew up, as I mentioned. So, um, a little bit more about my story. I started working at Fresno State. That was kind of after college, where I started, spent about 3 years there working. And then I went to school. So I went to Vanderbilt in Nashville, did my MBA out there, and then came back to Modesto to work at E&J Gallo Winery. So I worked there for 4 years on different wine brands and
How do
different
you leave
marketing.
wine? How do you leave wine for Upcycled Fruit? How do you leave wine?
Well, let me tell you. I had a lot more passion about what we were doing here and feeling like we're contributing to making a difference. That's really important to me. It's a huge internal motivator for me to be working on something that I can see, wow, this could really have an impact, right? So I was looking for that, like a lot of people during COVID times, right? Starting to reevaluate, thinking, what do I want to do with my life? And reached out to Ben, and the timing worked out great. So that's it's been great to be here. I've been here about 11 months now, so it feels like a lot longer, but it's been really rewarding. I'm excited to be here.
So it is kind of a thing of you can go to business school, get all the business stuff, and still have a purpose. I mean, you're showing us that there is a way to give back while making money. There's ways to do that. So this is one company that's able to do that, to give back and help our planet, but also you make money at the same time, right?
Yeah, and for us too. It's about, we talk about, well, when our 5 random questions talking about misconceptions about Fresno, right? Fresno, is not always held in the highest regard, right? And so we're passionate about this area. We want to be a part of changing that, right? So that a part of that is bringing knowledge workers and bringing knowledge base back and investing it in the communities that we grew up in and care about. And that's a big part of it too, right? You can go get an education, and there are jobs that you can find from that education within your local communities too, right? I think a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, you're going to go to a big city, work for a big corporation, but you can put it to use in a lot of different ways.
Well, also you can sleep at night.
Yeah,
Like you sleep better. Just like I'm doing something that's actually helping people, helping the world in some small way. That feels good. I don't know, it feels good.
yeah, it does. It does. It absolutely does. So it's something worthy of working on, and it's exciting to be a part of.
Why should people buy your product? In your opinion, why should they go ugly?
Yeah, I think there's a couple reasons. One, you can contribute to sustainability, right? Every pack that you buy prevents some amount of food waste depending on what fruit you buy, right? So for the peaches you held right there, is 2.25 pounds of food waste prevented. So every time you buy a product, it's an active way for you to get involved in sustainability, right? There's all these sustainability things out there, carbon emissions and greenhouse gases. It's really hard to wrap your hands around, right? It's like, I don't really know. I guess I can drive less or fly less. But this is pretty simple. If you buy the product, you're contributing to preventing food waste, right? Another part of it is if you want to eat clean, right? Like we talked about before, it's literally just the fruit. You can, obviously fruits and vegetables are a key part of our diet. This is a great way to, while you're contributing to food waste, also nourish your body and put, clean products into your body. So, and then we also have some unique offerings, right? We talked about it a little bit before, but dried nectarines. We want to give those a try. We have some kiwis in our portfolio. Dried kiwis. Not a lot of people have tried those, so those are really interesting and tasty. And then obviously peaches aren't a super big dried fruit. They're out there, but peaches are themselves kind of a unique offering. So just a couple reasons why.
Well, it was the dried nectarines that got me in because where's my bag? All these bags. I like white nectarines. I just have never seen them in a dried form. So,
Yeah.
and actually, I grow nectarines in my backyard. So I was like, oh, I just never. Again, they're not a common. We know what they are, but they're not common. They're just not common.
Right. And people are missing out if you haven't had a nectarine because they're my favorite fruit. One, a yellow nectarine. There's nothing better.
I agree with that completely. I agree with that completely. Matt Gorella, thanks for being on the show, and I am a fan. I am a friend now of the company. I want to see you guys succeed. Whatever I can do to help you guys get out there and succeed, I will do what I can and to spread the word of, hello, I'm ugly.
Well, thank you. We really appreciate you having us on the show, and thank you for your support. We really appreciate it, and yeah, excited to continue chatting.
Yes,
working with.
you're not getting rid of me. You guys are getting rid of me. We're gonna keep as you guys grow. I'm gonna keep in touch with you guys. But it's called the food is called Home, but it's the ugly company.com. But they're on YouTube. And I forgot what it was called. What was it? I know on Instagram it's a pack of ugly. That's on Instagram.
Yeah, I think this is the Ugly Co on YouTube.
Yeah, Ugly Co on YouTube. So check out their videos. You can see Ben. He actually talks and stuff. It looks like a farmer. He talks. So hi Ben. I know you'll see this, and one day we gotta talk Ben one day. But Matt did a good job.
We'll get him on. We'll get him on.
But Matt did a great job. I'll talk to you again anytime. And so go check it out. So go there and find out where they actually hold these. But if you're in the LA area, which I know I have a lot of fans in LA, Sprouts is one great place. That's where I found it for sure. So go to Sprouts. Several Sprouts in LA. I went to the one in Culver City. So go to one in Culver City on Sepulveda. You'll see it. It's a big display and it stands out. And I say, run, don't walk. Get it. Get it. You'll be not sorry. And like I said, I'm about to do these cherries in a drink tonight. And I mean, when I say drink, alcoholic drink. So I'm going to see how that works. That'll be a little later. At a happy hour time. I'm going to try that out. I'll let you guys know. But
let me know what recipe you come up with.
I'll tell you
on our website.
Yeah. Okay. I will tell you. I'm gonna try something tonight. I'm gonna try something and see how it works. But folks, I'm James Lott Jr. Follow me where all James Lott Juniors are at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. Extra Connections on Facebook. JLJ Media is everywhere else. This interview is going to be audio and video, so you can find it anywhere you find audio and video. I'm James Lott Jr. We'll see you next time.